Hey, I don't know about you, but I'm missing some March Madness right now. And so what I thought would be fun is if I invited Addison and Kobe here to the gym at Hope Church, and they're gonna shoot some three-pointers. You're pretty good at shooting threes, right?
Yeah.
And you're all right at it too? Decent, okay. But we're gonna mix it up, and we're gonna use rolls of toilet paper because, I mean, why not? We've got it. Just so you know though, we tape these up so they can be used later, so don't be upset, we're not wasting things. And these are the last 15 rolls that I have at my house, so let's not lose them. But okay, so what they're gonna do is they have 15 rolls of toilet paper. They're gonna shoot from 3 different spots, and whoever makes the most wins. You guys ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's do this thing.
Ready when you are.
All right, that was pretty awesome. Addison, you know, 7. Like, that's crazy. I mean, I've been trying this all day, and I've only been able to get 6. So that was awesome. You know, getting 7 right off the bat. But then Kobe, he comes out and answers with 9, and then all these on top of my head too. Guys, thanks so much for playing. Was that fun?
Yeah.
Did you enjoy that a little bit? You work up a little bit of a sweat.
Yeah.
You know, all right.
I mean, it's a lot harder than putting it in the toilet. So.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that makes a little sense. That makes a little sense. So, anyway, well, hey, we're gonna kick it to the next piece. Stick with us. Oh my goodness!
What's up, Hope students? Camden here. I miss you all, and I wish I could be here with you. I hope you're doing well and staying healthy. I just wanted to share a couple encouraging thoughts with you today, as well as the Spotify playlist that I've made and handpicked specifically for you guys to have during this season. Also, stay tuned. Starting next Thursday at 1 p.m., I'm going to start live streaming on the Hope Students account and spending some time every week with you guys, singing the songs on this playlist together. You know, music has always been a way for me to bring my thoughts and emotions forward and really to find my grounding whenever I feel uncertain, to rediscover hope and truth and peace when they seem nowhere to be found. And I'm sure you guys can relate to that. Music is such a powerful thing that we can all resonate with. That's a huge reason why we use it in our church services. That's why week after week we lift our voices, maybe even when we don't feel like it, and maybe even when we don't fully believe what we're singing. There's something special and holy that happens in the singing when we as the church sing about our God and the story of the gospel. It moves us deeper into faith and carries us through each week on our journey with Christ. Today we have a lot of songs we know to help guide us on that journey. But if we look back in history for a second at Israel, there's a special group of songs that they knew and lifted up together on on their journeys. And these were the Psalms we know as the songs of ascent, Psalms 120 through 134. What's important to know about these 15 short journey songs is that they were just that, songs for the journey, songs for the road. And they brought unity to the people of God despite any of the emotions along the way. Whether it be joy or sorrow, hill or valley, each one was still overflowing in hope. And so my prayer and invitation for you is that you would join me in embracing these short 15 little psalms as well as the songs on this playlist as we worship in our homes during this season. I want to invite you to acknowledge both the hills and the valleys, all the thoughts and questions and emotions that come during this season, but finding unity and hope in the fact that you aren't alone on this journey. So maybe try reciting a song of ascent each day together with your family, and in that declare over each other all the reasons we have to trust in our God. And use this playlist as your anthem songs. Allow the words and melodies in them to retune your heart to hope and to fill your soul with peace as we walk this road together. Love you guys, and I'll see you soon. Peace.
Hey guys, I've got my friend Sydney here with me, and we're going to play a game. And so, Sydney, you like games, right?
Yeah.
Alright, now before we play this game, Sydney, do you trust me?
Yeah.
Alright, okay. When I was thinking about playing this game, I was trying to figure out who would be a great contestant. I thought, you know, Sydney is so friendly, and she's nice, and she's funny, and Sydney has great hair. So the game that we're going to play today is a little risky for Sydney's great hair. I'm very jealous of your hair because I have very terrible hair. And so what I thought we would do is we would test how much you trust me by letting me crack eggs on your head. Now, this is a mutual trust exercise because I'm going to grab an egg and crack it on your head.
Okay.
And then you're going to get a turn to crack an egg on my head. And so the goal here is if we both trust each other and everything works out just fine, that's 1, 2, 3. You will end up with the raw egg last, and then we can just crack it into a cup or something. You don't have to crack it on my head, or you can crack it on my head. We'll figure it out. But so I trust you, and you trust me, right?
Yeah.
Are you willing to play?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I was gonna say it's too late. You're already in the seat. So let's do this thing. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. Oh no. Oh, see, you're good. Look at that.
Okay.
Your trust is well placed. Okay, so you might have to like just stick your hand in your finger in there. All right, you ready? Let's do this thing.
Okay.
Uh,
Sorry.
you can go harder. My head's pretty hard. Nice. All right. Okay, we're off to a good start. We're off to a good start. Okay. All right. I'm gonna go with this one right here. All right. And I'm not gonna smash it on your head because I don't want to hit you in the head really hard. But I know that this one's not gonna break. Are you ready for this? I feel really confident about it. Look at that. See? Look at that. All right. We're doing all right. Are you nervous? Are you feeling okay?
I'm a little nervous.
Because I only have one more chance to egg you.
I know.
All right. Are you ready? Let's do this thing.
It's not breaking.
Go hard.
Okay.
I got it. Oh, that was a good one. All right. Okay. All right.
It smells really bad.
All right. Here we go. Which one? I'm gonna go with this one. All right. You ready? Okay.
Yeah.
This is it. This is the one. Look at that. All right. So, Sydney, I'm going to give you the option. You can either crack that last egg right here, or you can go for my head. What do you think?
I think I'm gonna crack it on your head.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. I'm ready. Let's do it.
Okay.
Make it fast. Oh, you gotta go hard. Oh man. Oh, that was a good one. Oh man, the protein's good for your hair follicles, right? Isn't that how that works? Woo! Yeah.
Great hair gel.
Yeah, I think so. Well, Sydney, was your trust well placed there? Yeah. All right. My trust was not as well placed. Next time I'm having Dylan play this game. So, guys, stick around. We're gonna keep going with Hope Students TV, and I'm gonna go wash my hair and face and everything else. All right. Trust is a very fragile thing, kind of like an egg. It breaks easy, and when trust is broken, it can make a really big mess. I still can't believe that she decided to go for that last one. I thought she would just dump it in the cup. But trust is difficult, and trust is something that we have a hard time with. There's an old saying. It says that trust takes a lifetime to gain and just a moment to lose. I don't know if that's something that you agree with or not, but I find that it's true in my own life. Sometimes I have a hard time trusting people, whether they be my friends or that they be people that I go to church with, or people even that I work with, or even like my parents. Like growing up, I had a really hard time trusting my parents, which is so strange because my parents had my best interest in mind. They loved me and they cared about me, and I knew that. But I had a hard time trusting my parents. Like they would ask me to make the bed, and I think that making my bed is dumb. I did then and I do now. They would ask me to make my bed and I would say, well, why? Why should I do that? Because I'm just going to crawl back in bed later and mess it up again. Who's approaching my bed where it needs to be made? And why are they approaching my bed? I don't want to have a made bed. I want to have a messy bed so other people don't just think that it's their bed. Haven't you read Goldilocks? But we have a hard time trusting our parents. Maybe you can relate to that story. Or maybe this hits a little bit closer to home for you. Maybe your parents are telling you no, you can't hang out with that friend. Or they're saying, hey, we don't want you to spend that much time on social media. Or we really don't want you to watch that movie. Or maybe because you're at home a lot, they're saying, hey, we don't want you to spend that much time in front of the TV or that much time on your video game platform. See, it's hard to trust our parents, and we see them, and many times we know that they love us, and we know that they care about us. So why would we believe that it wouldn't be difficult trusting God sometimes? I think as Christians, sometimes we like to think that we have to walk into church pretending that we trust God indefinitely in all the areas of our life. But in reality, it can be really difficult. Because sometimes God says no to things that we want to do. Or sometimes God says, I would rather you do this, whether through His Word or maybe a feeling like a tugging from His Spirit. And it can be difficult to trust God. And I want you to know you're not alone in that. I've been there. All of your leaders have been there too. I think every Christian finds himself in that space. Even Jesus had a moment where he was faced with what he wanted, but what he knew God was telling him he needed to do. Even he had a difficult time trusting God. We were looking at the last words of Jesus, and this passage in Luke comes right as Jesus is leaving the Last Supper. He's going to that garden that we talked about last week where he prayed for unity. And his prayer doesn't stop at unity. It goes on. And Jesus, he leaves his disciples and he goes and he prays by himself. And this is what he says. I want you to pay close attention to this. He says, Father, if you are willing, take this cup of suffering from me. Now, we should probably explain what the cup of suffering is here. See, Jesus is asking God, he's saying, God, I know what's about to happen. I know that I'm going to go to the cross, that they're going to nail me to a piece of wood, that they're going to spit on me, they're going to yell hurtful things at me, they're going to throw things at me. This is going to be humiliating. This is going to be painful. This is a cup of suffering. It's going to hurt. And I don't want to do it. So God, if you're willing, Father, if you're willing, please take this cup of suffering away from me. Now, what we find out later on in these verses is Jesus is actually praying this so intensely that he's sweating drops of blood. He's begging God to change his mind, to do something different. And I can relate to that sometimes. Maybe not in the sense that I'm facing the cross. But there's times that I've asked God, I said, God, change your mind. Do something different. Fix this. Please fix it. But Jesus, he doesn't end his prayer there. He actually says this next line, which is incredibly important for you and I to hear. And it's this. It says, yet not my will, but yours be done. Jesus knew what was coming. He knew the pain that he was about to endure. He knew the shame that he was about to face. But he also trusted God enough to say, not what I want, but what you want. See, Jesus could have escaped this situation, but he didn't. He trusted God. He trusted that God's will was better than even his own desires. So what we need to take away from this is that we need to be a people who trust in who God is, even when we don't understand. We need to be people who trust in who God is, even when we don't understand. And right now, you might not understand a lot. You might not understand why God's not doing something about what's happening. Maybe you just want him to snap his fingers and make it all right. And it's easy for us to get into this mode of wishing that God would do things our way rather than being content with his will. And I think that piece there, trusting in who God is important. Because what happens is in times of crisis, we forget about who God is and we just focus on what he's doing or what he's not doing right now. So instead, right now, I want you to think about the good qualities of God. Who is God? He's your Father who loves you. He's the one who sent Jesus to die on the cross for you. He's also the one that rose Jesus from the dead and promises that same resurrection to you and to me. He's the one who extended grace and love and mercy. He's the one who leaves the 99 to come after you and come after me. He's our loving Father. He's a good Father. And he cares about us. And he wants us. And that's true. So it's important for us to remember who God is. So right now, like in your home, I want you to take just a second and think about who is God. What are the true things that you know about God from the Bible? What do you know is true about him? But the other thing is this. We need to get into the habit of praying that same prayer that Jesus prayed. Not my will, but yours. That's a prayer of surrender. It's a prayer of trust. So we've developed a resource for you. It's just a simple phone lock screen. So that in the midst of all the craziness of your life, you can look down and see that prayer. Not my will, but yours. So what I want to do right now, wherever you're at, I want to pray together. That prayer. I'm going to give you a second. I'm going to close my eyes. You're going to close yours. And I want you to pray that prayer out loud. Not my will, but yours. Let's pray together. Father, remind us of who you are. God, help us trust in your will instead of our own. And help us remember to always pray that same prayer, not my will, but yours. Help us trust you. In Jesus' name.